Derby County are targeting a move for Jamaican international and Barnsley central midfielder Jon Russell. Now, Jon Russell came through within the Chelsea Academy, spent time at Huddersfield Town, and is more recently in League One with that of Barnsley. Now, his contract runs for another season up until the end of June on 30th of 2026. There is no news in regards to whether he has a contract extension clause like we know a range of players do. But what we do know is he is 24 years of age, was born in London but has citizenship in Jamaica, where he currently plays for their national team with 11 caps to his name. Now, he stands at 1.93 metres tall and he's valued at around £850,000. This link comes from Transfer Market, but is it a legitimate one, and could Derby County really be going after this midfielder? Now, obviously, midfielders are something that Derby County need, but is this the right one? Do you want to win yourself the brand new Derby County 2025-26 home shirt? Well, I'm here to give you an opportunity to do that. There will be a link down in the description where you can head on over to raffle.com to join a raffle where you can win the Derby County home shirt. Ticket prices start at just £1 with a range of different discounts available. You can buy 2 tickets, get 2 free, 5 tickets, get 5 free, 10 tickets, get 10 free, and 15 tickets to get 15 free. The intention with this is to give you guys the opportunity to win a Derby County shirt for less than the valued cost in the shop. So if you haven't done so already, head on down to the description, click on the link in the description, which will take you over to raffle.com, create yourself an account, answer the question, and join this raffle. The winner will be announced on August 1st at 6 p.m. as the transfer window begins to draw to a close. So if you haven't done so already, head on over there and get your tickets. Jon Russell then is 24 years of age, has been linked to Derby County as per Football League World, who say that Derby County, Oxford, Blackburn Rovers and Stoke City are all taking an interest in the 24-year-old Barnsley midfielder. Now, it's very interesting, this one, because obviously Derby County do need midfielders. We've spoke about this before, and certainly do need goal-scoring midfielders. And he last season scored 11 goals and got 2 assists from 46 total appearances. Now, the interesting thing about this one is that if Derby County were to make this deal happen, it would certainly be an interesting one. Obviously coming from the division below, obviously got to make that step up. But for me, it's not a move I'm necessarily opposed to, in my personal opinion. I think you look at a player like him who can play across all the positions in midfield. He can play as a 10, he can play as your sitter, he can play as your number 8 as well. And he's shown that with the numbers that he's putting up as well. 11 goals, 2 assists, 6 yellow cards in 3,498 minutes. That's 46 appearances across all competitions, 40 of those in League One. He's also a Jamaican international where he scored 4 goals and 11 caps for them as well. And I do think there's quality here in regards to that of Jon Russell. And I do think that if you look over the course of his career, obviously spent time at Chelsea, spent time at Accrington Stanley as well, I believe, as well as, obviously, as I mentioned earlier, Huddersfield, and obviously more recently Barnsley. He's made 200 appearances across the course of all competitions with 26 goals, 7 assists, 22 yellow cards, 12,745 minutes. It's got a pretty even split of games across the course of central midfield and sort of that holding midfield role, with about 16 of those appearances being in that number 10 position. But for me, now I'm not saying that he's not a good player, obviously could certainly be, but Derby County sort of in that position now where they're sort of trying to bolster those midfield areas. We've brought in Colton Morris as a striker. We've got Andreas Weimann and Danny Bath, who look set to pretty much sign for the club over the course of the next few days, if they haven't done so already before this video comes out. And I think it's very, very interesting to look at sort of where Derby could go with Jon Russell. Obviously, got a good knack for goals, picked up 11 of them last season, got 26 of them across the course of his entire career so far, which from midfield, 26 goals in 200 games, I think is fairly decent. And it's one of those for me where he's obviously shown his capabilities in League One. He's been a really good player for Barnsley, playing in the middle of the park. Obviously, it's a difficult one to really make a proper judgment, because I think for Derby County, when you look at a player like Jon Russell and you look at sort of what Derby County need, realistically, you want that sort of knowledge that they can do it in the Championship. Now, I'm not saying he can't. He's made 24 appearances, 2 goals, 3 yellow cards in 1,903 minutes in the Championship so far in his career. He's played a couple of Championship playoff games as well for Huddersfield Town. And it's one of those for me where I'm not saying he can't do it. Obviously, there is that opportunity, but you've always got that risk of that step up to the Championship. And I think it'll be a very, very interesting one to see how he sort of adapts into what John Eustace wants to do. Now, I think he'd be a good addition for Derby. I think I'd obviously like better additions as well, if you know what I mean. Like, obviously, you don't just want to bring in Jon Russell and then sort of have a midfield cohort of maybe Liam Thompson. You look at Kenzo Heldmine, Ben Osborne, Ibo Adams. You want something a little bit more as well. So hopefully he's not sort of the only target in that midfield area, because I think Derby County could go out and get someone with a bit more, I'm not going to say experience, I don't think experience is the right word, but more top end sort of quality. I'm not saying he's not top end quality, but what I mean is someone who's proven it at the Championship level. Now obviously that is all going to come down to financial positions and things like that, and that's obviously the discussion that will need to be had over the course of this potential deal and other deals that are potentially going on. We've obviously bought in Carlton Morris now, which is rumoured to be a £500,000 fee. Obviously, we won't know for sure what that deal is until much later down the line when BBC Radio Derby or someone gets a hold of it. But for me, I do think it could be a good deal for Derby. I think Jon Russell obviously has quality. There's a reason he's been such a key player for Barnsley and played 93 games for them. But it's one of those where do you really want to take that risk of a 24-year-old who maybe can't compete at the level and has sort of got used to that sort of League One calibre, or do you want to go and get someone who you know can compete at this level but might cost you a little bit more? That's obviously the circumstance that will have to be discussed. And obviously with him being in the final year of his contract at Barnsley, you can sort of haggle the cost a little bit. And if he turns around to Barnsley and says, you know what, I'm not staying, that sort of puts him in that position where they can then go and deal with that essentially and sort of move him on this summer or maybe in January. So we'll have to take a look at that as the season progresses. But obviously, if you have not done so already, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, and let me know your thoughts down in the comments. It's going to be very interesting to hear what you guys have to say about Jon Russell. But yeah, Carlton Morris signs. Jon Russell could potentially be on the way to Derby County, but you can let me know your thoughts on that one down below. I'll catch you in the next one. Do you want to win yourself the brand new Derby County 2025-26 home shirt? Well, I'm here to give you an opportunity to do that. There will be a link down in the description where you can head on over to raffle.com to join a raffle where you can win the Derby County home shirt. Ticket prices start at just £1 with a range of different discounts available. You can buy 2 tickets, get 2 free, 5 tickets, get 5 free, 10 tickets, get 10 free, and 15 tickets to get 15 free. The intention with this is to give you guys the opportunity to win a Derby County shirt for less than the valued cost in the shop. So if you haven't done so already, head on down to the description, click on the link in the description, which will take you over to raffle.com, create yourself an account, answer the question, and join this raffle. The winner will be announced on August 1st at 6 p.m. as the transfer window begins to draw to a close. So if you haven't done so already, head on over there and get your tickets.